Hi, astrology friends. Just wanted to take a minute to talk about the eclipse that is happening Wednesday, April 19th. So tomorrow night, I think it's at about 9 p.m. our time, Pacific time. And I think, more like the middle of the night as you go east. But I think for us, it's happening tomorrow night. So the eclipse tomorrow is happening in Aries, which is the very first of a new series of eclipses that will be happening in Aries and Libra. And that's going to be happening for roughly the next 18 months. We're going to have another eclipse on May 5th, which will be in Scorpio. And then I know there's going to be a last eclipse in in Taurus in November. And that whole Taurus Scorpio eclipse story is done. That whole series is over, and then we're fully into Aries and Libra eclipses, and that will last for like another year or more. So I think the total time is about 18 months for the cycle of eclipses that happen in the two opposite signs. So the eclipse that's happening tomorrow is at the 29th degree of Aries, which is called the anaretic degree. Anaretic means something like destruction or destroyer. It's not considered a super fortunate degree just because it's like the sign is at the very end. So something is like ending, being, I don't know, kind of like coming apart, like it's over, so 0 or 1 degree of a sign is like the very beginning, and then the middle of the sign is like maintenance and like a fixed energy. The 29th degree it's the end, it's over. So Aries is the very first sign of the zodiac. So tomorrow is a solar eclipse, which means that it's a new moon. A new moon is a beginning. Aries is a beginning, but at the 29th degree, it's like there is an ending to begin. So not everyone's going to feel it. Not everyone will be able to probably point to anything and say, oh, this is how it showed up in my life, because you might not really have, everyone has every sign in their chart. It rules some aspect of your life, but you might not have planets near Aries at 29 degrees, or I don't want to confuse anyone, but basically the way that I feel about eclipses is that we notice that a lot of things start happening because you're not an island, right? You have a family, you have friends, you have bosses, you have people you work with. So the fact is, the odds are good that someone will be affected by these coming eclipses. And so you start to kind of hear that more things are happening, interesting things. Somebody bought their house, somebody sold their house, somebody is getting married, somebody is having a baby, people die sometimes. A solar eclipse in ancient times was when someone of power would die, usually like a king, maybe sometimes a queen, but really the sun, a solar eclipse is really more like the king or a president or something like that, or a country would go to war. It was considered like not a great omen. I think eclipses can be good. They're just considered like it's a fated events come. It's like everything speeds up, and things that you thought might take a long time are suddenly in front of you, and you're dealing with them, even though you may not have thought that they were, anywhere in the immediate future. So it's kind of getting dark out here. Of course, I'm in my car again, so I notice like the image is getting not so great. So I'm going to wrap it up, but just kind of watch what is happening in your life. Watch where something may be ending, and that is what enables or forces something else to begin. And the eclipse on May 5th, which is in 14 degrees of Scorpio, that's going to be a lunar eclipse, which means that it's a full moon. And that's going to be, instead of something like brand new coming at you, is going to be more like a realization. So like you might find out a secret, or someone might like reveal you know, reveals the way that someone feels about you that you like never knew, or like the reason for something that you never knew. So it's more like something in the past becomes clear to you, whereas the eclipse that's happening tomorrow, there's definitely, it's like it's a seed of something, it's a beginning of something, but there's just a feeling of like an ending around it. So hope this is interesting. Yeah, I think that's about all I have to say for tonight. I tried to make this video a little bit earlier, but I just couldn't find the time. So just watch for, you know, kind of pay attention, see if anything new and interesting is coming up. I feel like I've noticed a lot more happenings just in people, like in my life, you know, friends, acquaintances. It just seems like every time there's eclipses, I try to pay attention and I notice, and it happens every time. Like I will just notice, like you start hearing like, oh, this is happening and this is happening to this person and we're doing this. And suddenly it's like, you know, eclipse season is not the time when you feel like, oh my gosh, nothing is happening or has happened forever. It's like we all feel that way sometimes. And then like that little eclipse window comes and it's like, bam, like things start happening, which, you know, some of it is good and some of it is probably not so good, but I don't know, change is inevitable. Have a great night. Hope this eclipse is good to you. Bye.